A lot of you probably know about Tinder, and if you study computer science, you definitely know about Tinder. If you don't know what Tinder is,
congrats, you're not a loser.
It's an app where instead of talking to people, you look at their faces and then say yes or no by swiping left or right. It's an app that turned love into a game. You've got people catfishing, ghosting, saying they're 6 foot when they're really 5'6". Kinda yucky, right? So what if we take Tinder and turn the concept of swiping left or right into something pure, wholesome, something that genuinely makes a difference? And I think I know what fits that description.
Adopting pets.
Honestly, we don't deserve pets. They don't care about what you do. They always give you unconditional love and loyalty. They love you for you, and all they ask in return is a bit of food, some scratches behind the ear, and the occasional belly rub. Which is why today, we're creating a Tinder app, but for adopting pets, because pets are the ones who are truly looking for love, companionship, and a home. Just imagine for a moment, a world where every swipe on your phone could mean a second chance for an animal, where Brad from accounting is replaced by Dilly the cat, whose only life goals include a loving home, a cozy bed, and maybe your leftover chicken. But how do we bring such a vision to life? Let's dive into the roadmap. Okay, our first step for this app is getting some data on pets. This is an essential part of our project, since in order to create an app that's about adopting pets, we need data on pets that need to be adopted. We're gonna need detailed information like the pet's name, their age, the breed, the personality traits, their health status, and of course, their adorable photos and videos. Once we have that data, we'll save it inside a database. The next step is to make the pet data we collected usable. This is where step 2 comes into place, our backend and API. Now, for those of you who don't code, the backend is basically everything you don't see on the website or app, and it's usually used for manipulating the data we have in our database. So in our case, it's going to give us all the information we need about the pets, but it only gives that information to the backend. The backend now needs a way to send that information to our website and app. This is where our API comes in. An API stands for an application programming interface, and it's going to act as the bridge between our backend and our website and app. And now for our final step, to display the data and let people use it, the actual app and website. So this is the most straightforward part. The goal is to make it accessible and easy to use. I want it so easy that even your grandma who doesn't have email can use this to adopt a pet. Now that you know the roadmap, let's get started with step 1, getting the pet data. But how exactly do we get this data? This is where web scraping comes in. It's a technique used to extract large amounts of data from websites automatically. So in our case, we're going to use web scraping to extract pet data from a bunch of different websites. The good thing about web scraping is that it keeps our information up to date without having to speak with shelters or organizations, which is great because I'm shy and awkward. So by regularly scraping data from shelters and rescue organization websites, our website and app will have the most up-to-date information about available pets, because our database is going to keep getting updated with new pets. Now, ideally in the future, it probably would be better to talk to the shelters and organizations like a regular human being, but no. At the end of the day, the goal is pet adoption, and we're here to make sure they get a home. So how do we start web scraping? Well, it's actually pretty easy, but the big problem is that whenever we web scrape, it's technically a bot. And a lot of websites don't like bots, so they have security checks like blocking your IP address, or you know those CAPTCHAs where you have to select the squares that have a crosswalk and you don't know if the small little pieces count? Yeah, those. And luckily for us, this is where Bright Data comes in. Bright Data is going to allow us to web scrape the information we need responsibly and efficiently without worrying about these issues, because they have their own special tool called the scraping browser, and it gives us a lot of built-in features like solving those annoying CAPTCHAs and proxy networks to prevent our IP addresses from being blocked or banned. Bright Data is an amazing tool, and they were kind enough to sponsor this video and supply me with free credits to use. And if you use my link in the description, you'll get $10 in credit for your own project. But there's another problem. I don't know how to web scrape with Bright Data, so I'm gonna learn how to do that real quick using their documentation. Wow, that was really quick. Check out how easy it is to use Bright Data. Yeah, that one line right there upgrades our normie weak browser to a GigaChad scraping browser. It's pretty cool. Let's start getting some pet data. So I'm gonna be using the website petfinder.com because it has information of pets from a lot of shelters and organizations. So I'm gonna start writing the code to scrape the data and then save it.
Plug.
The code for this is pretty straightforward. It basically has two parts, scraping the data and then saving it. The database I'm using is Convex because of the nice features it has. I'm not sponsored, but I'm just saying, a sponsorship wouldn't hurt Convex if you get... Anyways, the program scrapes the pet data by collecting the links we get, and it's gonna take us to the pet's profile page. Once it's on the profile page, it's gonna extract the pet's information, and once it grabs that data, it's gonna save it into our database. Currently, we can't save the videos just because I'm being lazy, but so far the process is pretty simple. We can definitely make some improvements to it. For now, let's move on to step 2 in our roadmap, our backend and API. And it's gonna be really simple for now, where I just get a few animals. Okay, this is actually gonna be an interesting process. Since I wanna make 2 applications, a web app and a mobile app, I thought it'd be a perfect time to learn Turbo Repo. If you wanna know more,
then read the docs.
Luckily for us, Convex has a Turbo Repo example. I'm still not sponsored, but you know who is sponsoring?
Right data, baby. Link in the description for $10 credit.
Alright, so I thought about starting with the mobile app, and making an app takes forever and it's really hard. Yeah, I'd have to learn a lot, and during my research, I learned that having a Google developer account costs $25, but that's nothing when you compare it to Apple's price. Look at this.
Oh my goodness! Why?
For what? There's no reason for that. Now I understand why every app has ads or premium stuff. Because why do I need to pay $99 a year to upload some apps? So I'm gonna work on the mobile app in the future, maybe for another video. But for now, let's focus on the web version. Before we start coding, I wanna make a design in Figma because I'd rather mess it up here than mess it up in code. Okay, so I finished the rough draft of how I want this to look. Now, does it look good? I mean, I'm a programmer, not a designer, okay? Leave me alone. I also came up with the name for the website and app. We're gonna call it Perfect, you know, because you're trying to find the perfect pet. Clever, I know. Now that we have this design, we can start coding. Yeah! I wanted to get started with the swiping feature, and check out how easy it is to do these animations with Framer Motion. It just takes these small changes to take this to this. It's pretty cool. Okay. So I thought the swiping animation was gonna be simple, but like most programming problems,
it's not. Kill me.
Wait, I'm supposed to be working on the back end. Whoops. Okay, so I made some progress on the back end. I kind of forgot to record it, my bad. It's pretty simple so far, just grabbing pets. And an unexpected challenge was actually the swiping. I didn't think about it, but the website needs a way to remember what pet you swiped on. Because if you don't have that, then the website's gonna keep giving you the same pets. And the same thing for the undo. If anyone can please let me know if there's a better way of handling the swipes. I'm not the most experienced, I'm pretty stupid, so I would greatly appreciate if anyone would let me know. Hi, I'm terrible at this. A lot of progress has been made. Got myself authentication so you can log in, log out. I got this cool little sidebar, and the swiping feature is looking pretty good. You can swipe it with your mouse, swipe it with the buttons, and you can swipe it with your keyboard. I got the images working for the pets so you can view each of their images. It was pretty annoying to code. The back-end code for this is pretty questionable. I'm definitely gonna fix it up a bit more, but I do have this annoying bug right now. Whenever you swipe on a card and you refresh the page, that pet is still gonna show up for like a quick second and then it just leaves. I'm gonna see if I can fix it, but other than that, this is looking pretty good actually. So I'll see you when I remember to record.
Hello, this idiot sloth forgot to record again. Bro only had one job. Let's speed run the features. First, we got ourselves the pet profile page. Amazing. Next, we got loading states. Wow, so exciting. And lastly, Sloth managed to fix the stupid card bug. Hooray! Now for the big questions. Will Sloth ever finish this project? Is he going to pay Apple $99 a year? Is he even going to make the mobile app? Will he remember to record his progress? Is he ever going to fix his skill issues? Find out next time on Sloth's Silly Adventures.